The states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state. The Republican Party should always be on the side of the miracle of life and the side of mothers, father, their beautiful babies. IVF is an important part of that.
And that was former President Trump laying out his position on abortion yesterday, saying that it should be up to each state to determine their own laws as long as there are exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. Fox News poll finds 65% of voters favor legalizing abortion nationwide. 32% are still against it. 41% say it's extremely important to their 2024 vote. Trump's plan received criticism from former Vice President Mike Pence. Pence called it a slap in the face to millions of pro-life Americans. Joining me now is North Carolina Congressman Greg Murphy, a member of the House Veterans Affairs and Ways and Means Committees. He's also the co-chairman of the GOP Doctors Caucus. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. What is your reaction to President Trump's stance there yesterday?
You know, it's very interesting, Maria. When I was in the chamber and they announced the change of Roe versus Wade, the Supreme Court, the things were going to go back to the states, the Democrats were the ones most in arms. Republicans said, yeah, this is what the Constitution said. Should never have been a federally decided issue. It should have been a state issue. And so you just don't get to pick and choose when you believe in the Constitution and when you don't. I firmly believe what happened with Roe versus Wade, that it went back to the states, was the correct decision. And I personally, you know, I'm as pro-life as it gets. I don't see why we changed that stance. I don't understand the mechanics of when all of a sudden we're for it being in the states and then again we're going to be for it nationally. Abortion is the most emotionally charged issue, I believe, that we deal with, and you're going to have everybody on all the spectrum. But you have to pick what we have, and that's the Constitution.
Is this going to be, do you think, a big issue in the 2024 election?
Yeah, it's going to be a big issue every time because you have folks on both sides, really probably more Democrat, that wants abortion literally when the child is coming out of the birth canal, always to force the issue because it's an emotionally charged issue, and that's what elections are. They're emotionally charged events. Yeah.
Let me move on to what's going on in the House, because House Speaker Mike Johnson is under pressure as Congress returns from Easter recess this week. Republican lawmakers are split on another Ukraine funding bill, which would provide money to Kyiv in the form of a loan. Congressman, what are you expecting here? And what about the open border? Does this play into this at all?
Absolutely. It all plays into, you know, you look at one crisis after another that Joe Biden has created. I firmly believe, and this is what military folks also, Ukraine would have never happened had we not had the debacle of what happened in Afghanistan. So we're left with what to deal with Ukraine. And, you know, the funding that the Speaker is asking for now, I fully support. The majority, 90% of that, is actually going towards our own military, recouping our supplies and doing those types of restocking kind of things. It's not going all for Ukraine. But I think it's important for the voters and for the listeners to understand that we're at a pinnacle moment right now. We're in late 1930s Germany right now, where Russia and China are closest as ever. It's kind of like, you know, when Nazi Germany and Russia were colluding against Poland. It's absolutely critical that we stand on the side of justice, on the allies, and stand firm in pushing back Russia, and then in essence, also pushing back China. It's critical that we support Ukraine at this time and support ourselves by restocking our supplies.
But can you get anything out of that support with regard to the border, Congressman? I mean, that's the issue, right? Yes, you want to support Ukraine. You don't want a madman running around the world, Vladimir Putin, trying to take over more territory. But you also have a wide open border where terrorists are coming in. So what's the give here? What's the give and the push? You've got loan semantics being one, taking a page out of the Trump playbook. This government relief to Ukraine could be structured as a loan, no interest, waivable loan. You've got the idea that you could seize sovereign Russian assets. Right. And then you've got this idea that you could help negotiate with Biden by forcing him to lift the moratorium on new LNG export projects, or something about the border.
Yeah, and you know, Maria, the thing is, we're trying to lump every specific issue into one big bill. and you will not get the support, you not get the full support in the House, and you surely won't get it passed in the Senate or signed by the president. If you go back to I firmly believe we're not going to have a legislative fix for the border in this session, period. We don't have the votes on either side. We don't have the Senate. We don't have the White House. Joe Biden created this border problem literally in his first day by removing all of what Trump had done. This has to be a White House fix.
So that tells me that nothing gets done on the border. You guys, this is your final push before the election, right? This couple of next several weeks until Memorial Day, and then you're done. And then we're up against the election. So nothing gets done on the border this year. Congressman, I want to move on and ask you about the American College of Emergency Physicians, because you're going to be speaking at this leadership meeting later this month. Some members of that group have tried to have you canceled from speaking at this event over a bill that you proposed which would ban federal funding for medical schools with diversity initiatives. Are you going to speak at this leadership event?
I sure am, and I had a great discussion with the president. You know, the issue is people always want to make it just about race. I'm talking about merit. I'm talking about competence. And we're looking at what's happened with DEI in this country, and it's destroying everything. What's happened now with the leadership of our medical colleges and universities is they're throwing DEI in the admissions process, in the curriculum. You ought to see what UCLA is doing, and in the hiring and firing of professors. This is ridiculous. We're talking about somebody's life here. We're talking about physicians and surgeons. We're not talking about art school. We're not talking about English school. We're talking about somebody's lives. And so, look, I want to say, look, I want a diverse force, but I don't want us to sacrifice competency or merit. And that's what some of these DEI initiatives are proposing. So, you know, look, if you want to go to medical school, study, get ready, do the work, and come up to the bar. Let us not lower the bar.
Yep, got it. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much. We'll be watching your work.
All right, take care. Thank you.